A man who dares to waste 1 hour of time has not discovered the value of life. If I had my life to live over again, I would have made a rule to read some poetry and listen to some music at least once every week. Ignorance more frequently begets confidence than does knowledge. If the misery of the poor be caused not by the laws of nature, but by our institutions, great is our sin. We stopped looking for monsters under our bed when we realized that they were inside us. The love for all living creatures is the most noble attribute of man. I am not apt to follow blindly the lead of other men. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, not the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is the most adaptable to change. The mystery of the beginning of all things is insoluble by us, and I for one must be content to remain an agnostic. The highest possible stage in moral culture is when we recognize that we ought to control our thoughts. A monkey, after getting drunk on brandy, would never touch it again, and thus is much wiser than most men. Blushing is the most peculiar and most human of all expressions. Intelligence is based on how efficient a species became at doing the things they need to survive. One general law, leading to the advancement of all organic beings, namely, multiply, vary, let the strongest live and the weakest die. In the long history of humankind, those who learn to collaborate and improvise most effectively have prevailed. Besides love and sympathy, animals exhibit other qualities connected with the social instincts which in us would be called moral. But I am very poorly today and very stupid, and I hate everybody and everything. One lives only to make blunders. Man selects only for his own good, nature only for that of the being which she tends. Great is the power of steady misrepresentation. I see no good reasons why the views given in this volume should shock the religious views of anyone. For the shield may be as important for victory as the sword or spear. Freedom of thought is best promoted by the gradual illumination of men's minds which follows from the advance of science. There is no fundamental difference between man and animals in their ability to feel pleasure and pain, happiness and misery. To kill an error is as good a service as, and sometimes even better than, the establishing of a new truth or fact. It is always advisable to perceive clearly our ignorance. I am not the least afraid to die. We are not here concerned with hopes or fears, only with truth as far as our reason permits us to discover it. We are always slow in admitting any great change of which we do not see the intermediate steps. The very essence of instinct is that it's followed independently of reason. We will now discuss in a little more detail the struggle for existence. A scientific man ought to have no wishes, no affections, a mere heart of stone. I feel most deeply that the whole subject is too profound for the human intellect. In conclusion, it appears that nothing can be more improving to a young naturalist than a journey in distant countries. A fair result can be obtained only by fully stating and balancing the facts and arguments on both sides of each question. Whilst man, however well behaved, at best is but a monkey shaved. It is difficult to believe in the dreadful but quiet war lurking just below the serene facade of nature. A moral being is one who is capable of reflecting on his past actions and their motives, of approving of some and disapproving of others. Such simple instincts as bees making a beehive could be sufficient to overthrow my whole theory.